Hello and welcome to the B2B e-commerce talk. My name is Arno and today we are doing an IT stand-up. That means we are interviewing the most important people in running B2B e-commerce, the people from IT. So today I have with me Nathan Ayres, e-commerce manager at Labelmaster, with a background in IT and more than 25 years of experience in the field. So welcome, Nathan.
Thank you. Nice to be here today.
Nice office you have there. I see a lot of labels in the background.
Yeah, these are the placards that Labelmaster sells. Our company does anything with shipping hazmat, and that's some of the placards that we sell.
All right. Yeah, we will definitely talk a little bit more about that later on. I also see a nice award because Nathan, you were the winner of the B2B e-commerce manager of the year, and or got the award for that. So congratulations. How does that feel?
Oh, that was a really surprise. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I had my boss submit the information for us, and it's been a long time using. We've been a long time using Sauna, and so it was a really good surprise.
Oh, awesome. Even because it's a surprise, right? So that your boss did that. Is awesome to hear. So anyway, Nathan, I'm curious, what got you into e-commerce in the first place?
Well, I started with the Labelmaster 26 years ago. They had a software opening, and I had some experience in working with the type of files that they were working with. We were taking government regulations, Department of Transportation, OSHA, EPA, and converting them to CD-ROM and selling it as a product. And in that time, the early internet, we had an informational website up and running, and the guy who managed it was leaving, and I had some HTML experience in my previous job before that, and I decided to take over the website. And so I started managing the website, and in that time, you needed to know a lot of the background of how to get a website up and running, and how to manage the server. And so IT kind of fell into my lap a little bit, some of those tasks, managing servers, managing IIS. And so all the IT tasks of maintaining a website kind of fell into my lap. And so then I just watched we started adding online forms, then we started adding e-commerce, and we went through 2 or 3 different designs, 2 or 3 different platforms. And then, 6 years ago, we were doing a big migration, and we chose Sauna over other platforms. And that's when we started with Sauna 6 years ago.
All right, nice to hear that. So, yeah, before going more in depth, so tell us, what makes Labelmaster unique? You already mentioned a couple of things. I also see these labels in your office. Can you tell a little bit more about, Labelmaster's business and the uniqueness around it?
Yeah, we're a pretty niche company. We help U.S. and international companies ship hazmat safely. So whether it's placarding on the sides of trucks, or labels on the sides of boxes, forms, and the packaging itself, we have some unique packaging for shipping lithium batteries, which is a big thing now. So it's all that hazmat is required. There's different regulations in different countries that are requirements to ship it safely, and we help companies do that. So with all the placarding, labeling, forms, software to connect with UPS and FedEx, so we sell that. We develop that. So there's lots of things to put together to keep the country safe.
Exactly. A lot of trucks or places in the world where, let's say your labels are being stick to or being mounted on. And that's, in my opinion, also I always say that the beauty of B2B e-commerce or business to business in general, because there are so many products that you maybe as a consumer do not really see, or you're not even aware about, because you're driving in your car, you see a big truck, you see all those labels, but you never ask the question to yourself, where can you buy this kind of things, or how do you get that, and so on and so on. But that is
right.
right?
And we work B2B mostly, but our products are consumable. You're going to run out of labels. You're going to run out of forms.
Yes.
And so you need to buy them again. And
Yes,
so we're
exactly.
the company out there that is kind of a one-stop shop for purchasing all the different types of products involved.
Understood. Yeah, really, really, really nice. So yeah, I'm an IT manager actually myself as well. So besides of my role at Sana as a chief product officer, I'm taking care of the internal IT stuff as well for our employees. They just thought, okay, yeah, Arno, you studied computer science, you can take that role as well. So take care of the internal IT of our, let's say, 700 people in the group. Um, and what I see is, yeah, when doing projects often requested by the business, of course, purchasing new software or trying to achieve something new. Um, so much time is always spent on making that new software, this new, yeah, if it is cloud or doesn't really matter what kind of software it is, to integrate in the landscape that you are already having. So how do you experience this, or how have you experienced this?
The choosing the right software to use is a challenge. When we were migrating from our old system to Sana, we went through and interviewed 3 or 4 different types of companies, and it's a process. And you weigh the pros and cons of each type of application, and we chose Sana. And this year, we're going through the migration of Sana 9.2
Mm-hmm.
to Sana Commerce Cloud, and we did interview a couple other companies just to see if we wanted to stick with Sana. And the other, we're migrating our ERP again, and from uh, from Nav to Business Central to BC. And so we're doing a lot of migrations, and it's always a challenge of what works best for you. And in our experience so far with Sana works best.
Yeah,
Sana
yeah.
has been what's worked really well for us, and we've developed a friendship with the dev team because we do some customizations,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always choosing the right software is a big deal in a company, especially one that's a little smaller like ours. We have to make the right decision,
Cool. Yeah,
and
nice to hear. Nice to hear. It's
so
all
far we think we've done really well at that.
all right. Nice to hear that. Yeah. So it's about the selection process also in the beginning, and that's for sure. And yeah, a lot of vendors are always claiming, hey, because I'm also selecting software and different purposes, and they are all claiming and say, okay, yeah, integration is not an issue. We have APIs, we have web services, or we have files to exchange, etc., etc. So they're all claiming the same things. But when you're really, in the project, and you're choosing the wrong vendor, for example, yeah, at least what we see that your budgets can easily eat up, I think, at least 30% of your whole budget on just making the integration work, right? And that is just what you want to avoid. So definitely, yeah, choosing the right software is, of course, a good strategy for that. So, um, yeah, talking a little bit more about the landscape of the IT landscape of Labelmaster, I think you also nicely aligned with the philosophy that we are having is that, yeah, we are not solving everything, right, Nathan? So we are in an ecosystem of different components, and together you compose this whole solution for you. So you have Business Central as your ERP system now, or you're moving actually to Business Central. You're coming
Yeah,
from
we're moving.
and that is an ERP system. There is most of your, yeah, you can explain yourself. What is mostly, let's say, being stored or managed in an AV?
Right now in Nav, it's managing our customer information. It's managing customer history. And so we work with Nav for that. We have customer data in Salesforce, but we're migrating from Salesforce to CE, to the Microsoft CRM system.
Yes.
And so we see lots of benefits in using that. We're tying uh, uh, Nav data, CRM data to our PIM system. We use Perfion. It adds to what Nav has for product information, and that we saw that as a big benefit for us because we have a lot of categories and a lot of different products, and so we needed something really robust.
Yeah, maybe for the people to listen, sorry to interrupt you, Nathan, but Perfion is a product information management system, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, Microsoft Dynamics and if your Business Central has some product information management, but it's rather limited, right? Or maybe for especially for companies like you just mentioned, larger catalogs, a lot of categories, a lot of product attributes, it's better to use a product information management system. And that is the whole philosophy of combining these solutions to have the perfect mixture, right? And Perfion is one of the ones that
we have over 1,000 different categories, subcategories, parent categories, and up to 15,000 plus products to sell online, and so it's really robust. You get into the science section, and it's a lot of just material changes and things like that. But our primary categories are true business. But yeah, it's the adding Perfion on top of Nav and Business Central. Eventually, it was a big benefit for us.
Exactly.
And we tie that in directly to provide the category structure in Sana. And so that's the way that works for us.
And you're also using for CPQ. You're also using Explologic, right? Or Econ. You have that. You have that as well.
Yes, we do use Econ. There's a few different categories in which our products need to be personalized or customized by customers. Some labels that the customer wants their address already pre-printed on the label. Some signs and some other labels. Just we're working with vendors to print different signs for our customers. And then we have like some of our placards, like what's up here. We'll have a UN number on it, and we stock some UN numbers, but some UN numbers are personalized, customized, and they're not pre-printed. So we go out. The customer says, "I want a red placard with 1663 on it, with 1203 on it." And if we don't stock it, they build it in Econ, and we're able to produce it really quickly.
Nice. And so all those systems together in your landscape makes actually the experience for your customer, let's say. So your customer.
And a lot of that is IT work and IT setup, dev setup initially. And so that I'm working with the IT team to get that all set up and make sure it's all functioning, get it all tested, and then once it's done and Sana's connected to it, the IT part just drops off, and it's just management of making sure everything continues to work and function properly. So as an e-commerce manager, I'm kind of the tie between marketing and IT.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move a little bit in that direction as well. So, the role of IT and maybe your company, is it with running e-commerce businesses like you are having, or starting e-commerce business maybe back in the days? Is it all about, in your opinion, all about fighting tickets, or should the IT department more be a business navigator and saying, hey, the business comes with a question, say, hey, we want to start with B2B e-commerce, or we want to start with e-commerce. This is the solution you should take, or is it more, let's say, that you were playing an advisory role there as well? Can you explain?
Definitely in the advisory role. I think in our structure at Labelmaster, IT takes a step back. They'll work on connectivity, and they've taken over the IAS management. I help out there and advise, but I'm kind of that when it comes to resolving and debugging issues. I kind of help there in advising. But definitely in our environment here at Labelmaster, IT does have a step back. They don't do a lot of the product selection. Marketing and myself go in and say, hey, this is the direction we want to go, and they end up helping in the back end.
Exactly. All right. And e-commerce managers like you, in my opinion, should not waste their expensive time or the time on maintaining the B2B e-commerce platform for the, duplicating data, product information from one system to another system. Can you explain a little bit how that goes with the solution you're now having and how much time you're spending on it or saving on it?
Yeah, when we initially started working with Sana, it was okay. There's an expense to set it all up, and IT gets involved in getting it all set up.
Mm-hmm.
But then Sana makes it all easy after that, and at least for us, it did. Where IT doesn't have to do much in wasting resources. There's no wasting resources here at Labelmaster. I mean, it's Sana makes it easy, and it just works really well for us. From my end, I can focus on the more the marketing side of things
exactly.
versus having to worry about the IT side, because it's all done basically.
Yeah, that's also what you want, right? You want to work on optimizing your store, trying to make the better experience for your customers,
yes,
B2B consumers, see where you can improve, and not be busy with things that you just should work. Let's say it like that, right?
Right. We hardly have any errors that need to be debugged, and when there are issues, I jump in and help debugging issues, but because everything is generally working, no order errors. It's all about focusing on making the customer happy, getting them to find product faster,
Yes.
creating information pages that bring in organic traffic from search engines. And we do really well at our little niche of keywords that we want to rank for. And then the part that makes the customers happy is being able to find product and order quickly and have no issues.
Exactly.
And that's what we strive for, and what my focus is.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you had you were just explaining before Sana, or let's say on the platform you have now. Were you experience these kind of issues with other platforms that you had or other solutions that you have?
Yeah, prior to migrating to Sana, we had multiple systems running. Our e-commerce platform was Cold Fusion based, and there was always challenges with Cold Fusion. I was able to create some really cool tools in Cold Fusion, but Cold Fusion had security holes that became a challenge to continue to update to. And our back-end systems there were so many different systems that required manual changes. It just wasn't scalable for us, and so we had to do a big migration. Our ERP was a custom platform developed by previous developers, and so that wasn't scalable for us. And so we eventually had to migrate to an inbox solution with customizations, and we really wanted to have an optimized back end with an optimized front end, and that worked well for all our customers and all the tools that we had created. And so that, previously there were error issues, mostly because our systems were all manually connected together.
Yeah.
And a lot of pulling reports and updating and importing and things like that.
Yeah.
Once we migrated to everything, Sana helped. What made it all easy, and Nav made it all easy.
Nice to hear. Yeah, so that is what we hear so often, or I hear so often, and I'm actually still surprised. And let's say that in 2022 there are still so many, IT managers or e-commerce managers struggling in bringing data from one system to another. It's unbelievable. For example, with just manual sometimes, but even manual sometimes. Sometimes with just files. I see that semi-manual, so that you need to export something and then import it in another system. Yeah. I think it's definitely important in a world that we have now becoming more, let's say, open SaaS, that we are working together as ISVs, right? That's different software companies together to make these integrations just work perfect, and not only claiming them from a commercial perspective, saying, yeah, we have APIs, extensions, and so on, connecting these things, but that also really live up to the promise. So yeah, I also see actually big difference in what I actually call technical and functional integration, which I actually mean is that technical, you can exchange information or data or whatsoever with files and so on, but make it really function or really make it work in the situation of the customer is another step, right? So do you understand what I'm trying to say, Nathan? So that there is this, you can just export files and so on, but or you can say, okay, yeah, we have web service integration. But for your particular case, I think with Sana we go a couple of steps further, that you can really, if you're using, for example, field in a little bit different way, we can adapt to that. Or if you have pricing calculations done a little bit in a different way, we adapt to that. I think that's the taking another step.
Yes, definitely. We've worked with Sana, and our previous system had some unique structures, and Sana was able to build customizations to show our price quantity breaks, and so we show a default price quantity table, and then we have pricing structures for some companies. Some companies get a little bit of a discount, and we're showing default pricing, but then we're showing the customer's price. And I'm sure that's similar to other companies' systems, but this worked really well for us.
Yeah.
And then the whole other types of customizations, we wanted to optimize for search engines, and so we had Sana develop some things for us, and it's probably native now to SEC, Commerce Cloud. So there are things that really we're having to migrate less customizations. We're having to develop less customizations, but there's always, Sana's always been open to us making suggestions on what would work best for our customers, and they've always been able to come up with a solution that helps us out.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a, let's say, e-commerce manager of the store. So what is your favorite feature of the shop, if you have to judge yourself?
A favorite feature, search is really important to us. Site search is really important to us, and we've had Sana do some modifications in site search so that it's actually searching content pages as well as category and product pages. And search is really important. We go into Google Analytics and we look, and customers that do searches convert at 13-14%, versus a customer that does not search converts at 2 to 3%. So search is always a main focus. And Sana's helped us out into improving it for us and our customers.
Cool, nice to hear. So that's also, I think, then also one of the most used features in the shop or in the store by your customers, right? So search is definitely
I looked in the past to see what features get used most, and it's the login page, it's viewing cart, and then it's search. And then we have a few content pages that we've generated that bring in a ton of organic traffic, but logging in, viewing cart, and search is right up there.
Yeah, no, so 30% conversion ratio is pretty high, especially in comparison with B2C, right? And then e-commerce managers on the B2C side would already jump in the air if they have, more than 2-3% of conversion ratio. But if you have 13, that is awesome, right?
Yeah. The customers that search on our site, they convert.
Yeah,
and exactly. It's because we've optimized our products. We have a boost feature for certain keywords, and it just works for us. And nice. We get customers. Search gets customers to product faster, and we have other tools that do that for certain categories. But yeah, that's the big thing.
Cool. And taking it a little bit further in the funnel or in the journey of the B2B buyer, so they've searched it, selected, order it. So what is actually the orders being placed? What is the amount of order errors you're receiving? Let's say day in day out. Is it a lot? Is it not a lot?
Order errors, yeah. We don't get a lot of order errors. It's very minimal at this point in our migration within Asana and our optimizations. In our previous systems, there were errors, but most errors I see now are locked tables. That's the connection to our SQL information. Some errors are the PIM related. Other errors are ERP account related, but it's generally never a Asana error. It's always a connection issue of some sort, or a product information issue. Asana just works for us.
Okay. Nice. All right. So, and would you say then so that you actually already mentioned at the end, the integration that we have, the integrated e-commerce, really help to reduce, let's say, then these order errors, and maybe then also the workload of your customer service, right? So that if you place an order at Sana, or if you place an order at Sana, it's in your ERP. No mistakes there, right? No manual errors or something that you need to copy something and so on.
Yeah, customer service is likely doing different things in Sana than what they were previously doing. If they were previously, they were likely taking a lot of orders and working with the orders. Now that because Sana and our integration, that's all straightened out. They don't have to do a lot of that work. Their emphasis is more on answering online chat within Sana, and answering order information questions versus taking the orders, because
Exactly.
getting the order process is already taken care of in Sana.
So they can spend time on the meaningful things to help the customer actually.
Yes, that's where's my order? How can I find? How do I order this particular product? That type of thing. Instead of taking the orders is all handled in Sana.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's great, of course, to hear, and that's also one of the things that we are trying to achieve here in the company is it's about that relationships with these customers, right? And I think if customer service for example, can help more with, supporting these kind of things to help improve that relationship with the customers, is much better than, just solving errors or making sure that the order is anyway trying to get an order in or something, or manually. That's not what you want to spend the time on. All right.
Right.
So, let's say, looking at the future, so you are busy with migrating to our latest version of our product, our flagship product, Sana Commerce Cloud. So probably that is also one of your, and in parallel or maybe in combination, also to a new version of your ERP, Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. So I can imagine that is one of the goals of for the future of this year. But are there any other things, Nathan, that if you look a little bit further ahead, what you're aiming for or trying to achieve?
Well, it's always continued to meet the customer satisfaction. The whole migration to Sana Commerce Cloud, that's a huge goal for us this year. But it's continued growth in number of orders, revenue. That's always my tie-in to marketing and IT, is have a smooth system running, make the customers happy, bring in the revenue for our company.
Exactly.
And we do a lot of, we have sales reps across the country. We have sales reps internal in our Chicago offices, and they're always pointing our customers to our website to get their orders done online smoother and faster. And so that's the main goal is always increase growth. And in challenging times, with COVID, we've been able to continue to improve our systems and continue to help our customers.
Cool. Yeah, nice. So what was the last milestone you celebrated as a team or maybe as an individual? You had the award for B2B e-commerce manager of the year, but anything
Yeah,
else?
that was a big thing. Last milestone. It's the small milestones in this conversion. We are nearly ready to launch the CRM, and marketing department is moving to Click Dimensions, and so we're getting through all the testing of those systems, and so that's going to be the next big milestone, is to get those up and running. So I'm working on. We have several forms on our website. They've previously gone through uh, Salesforce for lead migration and contact migration, lead development, and so I'm moving those to Click Dimensions forms, and that's going to be a big milestone when that gets launched.
Nice, nice. Definitely celebrate that, of course. So,
yes.
Yeah, are there any questions you want to ask me, Nathan?
No, this is fun. I like talking about all this and getting together with like minds. It's good to share this type of information about Labelmaster, and anything that involves Sana, I'm all for working with. I don't really have any questions.
Yeah. So I think for our talk for today, so the key takeaways, if I would summarize it, is if you're selecting software for example, if the business is, or if you want as a company move into B2B e-commerce, or you're already there, yeah, make the right decisions for your, for your landscape or for the company that you are, and definitely take integration as one of the things to be aware of, right? So because definitely it helped you, and Labelmaster, for example, reducing or actually using the people at customer service for things they are much better in helping really the customers for um, selecting the right products, and instead of just solving errors or trying to get orders in manually, and besides of that, reducing a lot of order errors, and has also smooth ride so far in the implementation, right? So if it's running, then IT is actually, as you mentioned, not really involved anymore. It's more up to you and the e-commerce team to further improve and to and to go on with it.
Yeah, Sana's made it really easy for our IT department. It's set it and forget it, and they allow me to jump in and do my job of helping our customers, find product faster, become the big thing. One of the things that we like to report on and develop projects based on is getting that customer, getting them to buy, and then getting them to return. And Sana helps in all of that.
Nice, nice, great to hear. So I really want to thank you. Nathan, for your time, for sharing your thoughts about B2B e-commerce, about how you're doing business with Labelmaster online. And my name was Arno from Sana. And Nathan also, wish you a lot of fun still every day when you're looking at your B2B e-commerce manager of the year award, which is nicely on your desk there. So love to see that. So thank you very much, Nathan. And hopefully speak to you later. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the time.